Hi there, and welcome back to today's video. The pumpkins have barely made it back into storage, and somehow it's already time to pull out the Christmas bedding. This time of year always creeps up fast, quietly. And if we're not careful, the mess creeps in with it. I used to wait until the last minute to get things ready, and every time it left me feeling overwhelmed. But today's video is all about doing it differently. I'll walk you through a few gentle ways to warm up your space, calm your home, and make everything feel just a little lighter all in one afternoon. You don't need to buy anything new. A clean set of sheets, a few items in the right place, and one tip that makes next year so much easier. That's all it takes. I've done it in my own home, and this season already feels less stressful. And the first tip? It's something I truly wish I'd started doing years ago because it changed the entire feel of our bedroom in less than 10 minutes. Let's explore. Now let's start with the bed. Sometimes a new season begins with the quietest shift. One year just before Christmas, I was completely burnt out. Work had piled up, the kids were sick, dishes overflowing in the sink, laundry half done, and this quiet guilt kept creeping in, that I wasn't doing Christmas right. You know that feeling, like you're already behind before you've even started. I used to think that to feel the Christmas spirit, I had to do everything. Hang up lights, bake cookies, play music, scrub the house until it sparkled. But that year, I had nothing left. No time, no headspace, no energy. The only thing I managed to do almost by accident was change the bedsheet. It wasn't anything new, just an old red flannel set I remembered stuffing in the back of the linen closet. A bit faded, a little frayed at the edges, but clean, ta-da, warm. At the time I didn't think much of it, but that tiny act shifted something. That night when I walked into the room, it felt different. Not magazine beautiful, not Christmas catalog perfect, but calmer, as if I had quietly given myself permission to begin a new season without pressure, without performance. Since then, I've always started the holidays that way. Not with a tree, but with the bed. Fresh sheets, maybe a cozy blanket, a soft pillow, or nothing extra at all. Not to decorate, but to create a space for rest. A little breathing room before the season gets loud. And this works because when you shift even one small thing in your space, especially a place tied to rest, your body feels it. Your nervous system softens. Your mind slows down. Only after the bed feels right do I even think about the rest. The lights, the music, the little festive touches. But I've let go of the idea that it all has to happen at once. I've learned that the quickest way to feel calm during a busy season isn't by doing everything. It's by doing one thing that helps you feel good again. So if this year already feels like too much, forget the pressure-filled to-do list. Just ask yourself one gentle question. What would make one corner of my home feel lighter right now? For me, it's always the bed, every single time. And once that bed is made, I finally feel calm enough to open up the boxes of old holiday stuff. Next, I'll show you how I do that part without it draining me. Now let's move on. Tip 2. Look through what you already have. I used to have a habit every time the season changed, I'd go looking for something new to buy. Not because I didn't have enough, but because I honestly couldn't remember what was already in storage. Most of my decorations were packed away in boxes stored up high untouched for a whole year. Every time I pulled them out, it felt overwhelming. But one year, instead of shopping, I spent a morning opening every box. I laid everything out on the bed. That's it. I didn't decorate, I just looked. And I was surprised by how much I already had. Some pieces I used to love and had forgotten, others were a bit worn but still fine, and a few things I realized I had bought on impulse and didn't actually want anymore. Since then, I've made it a habit each year before I even think about buying anything, I go through what I already own. It's a quiet process, clean surface, warm drink, open window. I take each item out, wipe it down if needed, and sort it gently, what to keep, what to wash, what to give away, and what I still genuinely enjoy. Doing this helps me feel clear. I no longer feel that vague pressure to get more. I know what I have, what I need, if anything, and where each thing will go. It's such a small shift, but it clears mental space too. And when your mind feels lighter, it's easier to face the parts of the house you usually avoid, like that one drawer you haven't opened in months. Let's move on to the next tip to learn more about it. There's always that one drawer, you know the one, stuck halfway because it's too full. Random cords, expired coupons, old receipts, notebooks with only a few pages used. Every time I walked past it, I felt a tiny spike of stress. I'd think I need to sort that, but I never did because in my head it meant dealing with the whole room, and that felt like too much. So one day I decided to do just that drawer. I put on a timer for 20 minutes. I didn't set any goals beyond just open it, no music, no big cleaning setup, just me, a trash bag, and a cloth. And it worked. Half the things went straight to the bin. A few I moved elsewhere. And by the time the timer ended, I didn't just have a clean drawer, I felt like I had reclaimed a little pocket of calm. That's when I realized clutter isn't always about the mess. It's about the things that quietly drain us because we've delayed them too long. So now whenever I feel like my home is too much, I pick one drawer. Just one. And I let that small action be enough for the day. And once that drawer is clear, it becomes easier to move on, like looking at the toy corner, the art supplies, or the closet shelf that's been untouched for months. That's where I went next. Tip 4 is declutter early, not after Christmas. One year I told myself I'd deal with the mess after the holidays. The gift boxes, the old crafts, the toys we no longer touched. I left them all. I thought I'll sort it out in January, and I regretted it for weeks. Not because I was lazy, but because by then I was already exhausted. The house felt full, my brain felt cluttered. The new things hadn't found their place yet, and the old things were still there, taking up space physically and mentally. I didn't know where to start, so now I do the opposite. I clear space before the rush. Not a big clean out, just one bag, one basket, one shelf. I look for things I already know we won't use again, the puzzle set with missing pieces, the dried out markers, the craft supplies that haven't been touched in months. Each time I sit down with just one container, I go through it calmly. What stays, what goes, what can be donated. It's not dramatic, it's not even visible to others, but inside it shifts something. Clearing early protects me from the chaos that piles up later. It makes space not just on the shelves, but in my mind. So when the gifts come, or the guests arrive, or life gets full again, I still have room to take it in. The next one is save how you set things up. Every year after Christmas, I used to forget the little things. Where I hung the wreath, which room I liked the red pillow in, whether that string of lights was meant for the bookshelf or the window. At the time, those details seemed too small to matter, until the next year rolled around, and I had to figure it all out again from scratch. So each December, I'd find myself second-guessing. Was the tree supposed to go this close to the table? Did the decals look strange last year too? I'd open a box and see something broken or half-used and think, oh, right, I meant to toss this. But of course I hadn't. And now here it was adding one more thing to sort through just when I was trying to feel festive. That's why I started doing something incredibly simple and surprisingly helpful. I take pictures. Just a few quick shots right when everything is set up and feels done enough. Not to share, not to impress anyone. Just for me. Little reminders that say, this worked well here. Or this pillow is starting to wear out. Or even skip these decorations next time you didn't love them. Sometimes I go one step further and jot down notes in my phone. Just a few lines, which lights were finicky, which hooks didn't hold what I ran out of. If I don't have time for that, I simply make a photo album called Christmas Setup, Year, and leave it there. The next time the holidays arrive, I don't have to remember. I just look. It's such a small act, but it's powerful. It removes the pressure to figure it all out every December. It helps me skip the tiny frustrations, the tangled lights, the oddly placed furniture, the decorations that no longer spark joy but still take up space. And more than anything, it feels like a quiet kindness to myself. Like leaving a breadcrumb trail that says you already solved this once. Let it be easier next time, because that's the part we often forget. Future you is still you. She'll still have a full life, full days, and a brain juggling too much. So every bit of thoughtfulness we can leave behind becomes a gift, a reminder that we don't always have to start over. It's such a small thing, but it saves so much time and stress. And honestly, it feels kind, like leaving a little note for my future self that says, "You've already done the hard part. Take your time. You've got this." Tip 6 is create space before you add more. I used to just keep adding. The tree, the red cushions, the string lights. It felt like the easiest way to make things feel festive, just layer Christmas on top of whatever was already there. Meanwhile, little signs of autumn were still scattered around. The soft fabric pumpkins on the shelf, the cinnamon-scented candles still burning, the burnt orange tablecloth I hadn't thought to change. And I'd tell myself, it still looks nice, why not leave it? But over time, I started to notice something. No matter how much effort I put into decorating the space, never really felt right. It wasn't a mess exactly, it was just full, too full. Like there wasn't any room left for the new season to land. Nothing stood out, nothing felt fresh, and more importantly, nothing felt peaceful. It wasn't about clashing colors or style. It was the energy of the space. Everything felt like it was competing for attention. Fall was still here. Winter was trying to arrive. And in the middle of it, I felt overstimulated, like I couldn't fully settle into either one. So I started doing things differently. I changed the order. Before I pull out a single holiday item, I give the last season a proper ending. I don't do a full clean, just a gentle reset. I fold up the fall linens, pack away the pumpkins, blow out the candles that smell more like cider than pine. I wipe the shelf, and I pause, because decorating isn't about adding more and more. It's about making space for something new to feel new. Like when you walk into a calm room and notice one red pillow on the chair, and that one detail feels beautiful. What surprised me most is how much easier things became. When I clear out first, I don't feel the need to over-decorate. I'm not trying to cover clutter with sparkle. I can choose each detail with intention. And in that process, I feel calmer too, more grounded, more present in my own space. Now, before I decorate anything, I ask myself a simple question. What can I gently put away first? Not to erase the past season, but to honor it and let it go. The last tip is Christmas doesn't have a deadline. There were years I tried to do everything in one weekend: the tree, the lights, the guest room, the shopping, the decluttering. I'd push through it all, determined to get it done, and by the end of the night, I'd crawl into bed with aching shoulders and a mind that wouldn't stop spinning. And still somehow, I felt like it wasn't enough. Like I'd missed something, like I was already behind even though I'd been working all day. Eventually, I realized something that changed everything. There's no real deadline to be Christmas ready. No finish line, no invisible judge. And when we rush to do it all at once, the joy gets tangled up in the mess. The calm moments we were hoping for, the ones we pictured when we imagined holiday magic, just slip past unnoticed. Now I do it differently. I've let go of the pressure to do everything in one go. I move slower, not because I've given up, but because I've learned that moving slower actually brings more peace. One afternoon, I change the bedding. Another day, I sort through the gift wrap drawer. Later in the week, maybe I'll bring out the ornaments, or maybe I won't. Some years I skip certain things entirely, and I've learned to be okay with that too. It's not about doing less. It's about being more intentional. It's about putting less pressure on every task, every room, every surface. Because the goal isn't to make your home look perfect. The real goal is to feel calm enough to actually enjoy being in it. And honestly, sometimes the most Christmassy thing you can do is just make space for yourself. Space to pause, to breathe, to not be in a rush. That's when the real magic finds its way in slowly, quietly, and often when you least expect it. There's something powerful about having just one spot in your home where the answer is always no to clutter. Not later, not it's fine for now. Just no. For me, it started with a small table near the front door. It had turned into a catch-all: mail, keys, receipts, hair ties, grocery bags. I'd clear it. And within a day, it was full again. One night I looked at it and thought, what if I just said no to this one surface? So I did. I cleared it completely, put a candle on it, a small bowl for keys, nothing else. And I made a quiet rule. This is a no-drop zone. No mail, no bags, no clutter, just space. It took a few reminders for me and everyone else, but over time it stuck. And now every time I walk past it, I feel a tiny moment of calm. Like the house is saying, there's space for you here. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just choose one place: a nightstand, a kitchen corner, a bathroom shelf. Clear it once, and decide this spot stays clear. Let it be your visual reset, your anchor. Because when everything feels messy, one small clear space can make your whole home feel a little lighter. That's everything I wanted to share in this video. If you're feeling a little behind or like you haven't done enough, just remember, you don't have to do everything, and you definitely don't have to do it all in one day. One drawer, one fresh sheet, one cleared shelf. It's enough. And if you've made it this far, thank you for spending this quiet moment with me. I hope you feel just a little lighter, a little more ready to move into the season in your own way. In the next video, I'm going back into my own bedroom at a time when things weren't exactly peaceful. It was messy late at night and I was running on empty. But that's when I started clearing slowly. Not to make it pretty, but because I needed somewhere to breathe. If you've ever felt the same, I'd love to show you where I started. See you in the next one. And if you'd like more videos that help your home and your mind feel calmer, hit subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.